Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kimberly Winborne, and I am the host of the Collaboration Culture podcast. Good morning and happy Monday. I'm excited to be with you this morning, excited to have our guest to join us this morning. We have an amazing guest. She is I consider a friend, definitely a sister in Christ. She is also an amazing business owner. And so we apologize for the delay. We did have some technical difficulty this morning, as well as slight personal issues. So we're on a little bit later, but we are here. And so, what we would love for you to do is to share out the broadcast so you can invite others to join us, especially women in business, because I feel like they will be inspired by this time together. But anyone in business, if you don't mind, just click the little arrow at the bottom and share out to your network. And then hopefully they'll share. You could put in your post, please share this out so that people can meet this wonderful woman and also be inspired by a mutual business owner or someone who can inspire them to start their business. So we have Sherenia. I always say Sherenia, but it's Sherenia Branche, who is broker owner of Branche and Associates in Henderson. She is a realtor, real estate instructor, and community advocate. Sherenia is passionate about educating buyers, sellers, and agents. So, with a background in social work, leadership, and customer service, Sherenia believes real estate is more than a transaction. It absolutely is. She believes it is an opportunity to create stability, confidence, and long term opportunities. Her mission is rooted in faith, service, education, and mission over commission. How about that? So we're excited to have Sherenia this morning. Let me add her to the broadcast so you can meet this beautiful woman. Good morning, Sherenia.
And good morning. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am well. Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody, welcome. So Robert Mitchner says, good morning. Good morning, Robert. So
Hi.
glad
Good
to have
morning,
you.
Robert.
Yes, good morning. And to anyone else who joins us, make sure to say good morning so we can speak to you. And if
Yes.
you have a business, feel free to shout it out because we'll shout out your
hmm
business during the broadcast. So let's find out a little bit more about Sherenia. I want to pinpoint something really quickly that stood out to me. You have a
Okay.
background in social work. Can you share how you use that as a realtor, if at all?
Okay. So before real estate, I did have a life and I was in social work. That was
Mhm.
my last position. And in social work, I was a social worker. Then I went to a social worker supervisor. But in my work there, I realized that everyone has a story, right?
Yeah.
It built in me even more compassion for people in different situations and things that they're going through and seasons in their life. And I use that because life comes with its own set of challenges, right? Its own
Yeah.
setbacks and opportunities. And it was important for me to see people right where they were and to let them know that I'm here as a support to you and to get you connected to where you need to be connected to. And always reminding them that it is a path forward. Right? You may be at this season in your life right now, but you can always move forward. And I just wanted to be a support to the clients that I had in social work there. And it also pours over into my real estate to let people know that I see you, regardless of the setbacks, challenges, different things that has came in your life. Life is not over, right? It's just the beginning. If God's giving you breath in your body, there's always
Mhm.
a path to move forward.
That's good. That's good. So,
Yeah.
with that background of social work, I can see how the education and the that care come together to be a great asset for your clients. And so, I
Yes.
noticed that you said that education within real estate is a huge part of your business. And so, can you
Yes.
talk about that? Like, all of us have dealt with realtors. Many of us have dealt with realtors at one time or another, especially if we're homeowners. So, can you talk
Yes.
about why education is so significant? Is there something that you saw or experienced yourself that made you realize that was important?
Yes. So of course, when I started in real estate, it was because my motivation was simple. It was different. It was time freedom that I wanted to have with my family, right? And my children. We had young children and things, and I wanted to be there for them, right? But we too, right after college, we purchased a home. So we had our own personal experience of how it poured into real estate, but we had no idea, right? We had no idea what we were doing. We were young college graduates just trying to do the next thing, right? You go to college, you get a job, and let's get a home and start a family. So that's what we were doing with no education as to what that looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we went into that situation, and through our personal experience, eventually we gave up that home because the burden of home ownership and not knowing, what we needed to know, it was heavy, right? So we released that from off of us. And then, of course, as we went through life and faced challenges and overcame the setbacks that we had, we started to realize that we needed to educate ourselves
Okay, so while she has to pause for just a second, thank you for joining everyone. Thank you, Jaja Cruz. Good morning. Good morning, Ruth Marie Riddick. Good morning. Good morning, Kimberly Dawson. Good morning. Good morning, Kareem Canston. Now, I know Kareem for sure is an entrepreneur. Is anybody else on the live an entrepreneur? Tell us what your business is. Go ahead and put that in the comments so we can shout you out. But Kareem Canston, I know, was the owner of Little Caesars. Are you still doing that? And also doing some stuff in the nonprofit space. So if I'm correct, Kareem, let me know. If I'm wrong, give us an update. All right, doing good work out here in the community. I'm excited to have Sherena, and as I said, we've had a bit of technical difficulty this morning, so I just want to shout her out for continuing to stay the course, not giving up, because a lot of times technology can be so frustrating, but we just switched to a different device and we were able to move forward. And so I am here. She is back with us, so I'm going to bring her back to the stage. Welcome back. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
All right. So
All
while you
right.
get
I don't know. I
situated,
don't know what happened.
I don't
Um,
know. It's you just disappeared
I
for a
don't know what
moment.
happened, but you
Uh
know
huh.
what? It's gonna
Yeah,
be well because can you hear me now? Just want
I
to
can
make
hear
sure.
you.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
think I can hear you, but nevertheless, I do know where you were asking about real estate education and how that became important to me. And I was sharing that through our personal experience and our personal life challenges and just engaging with people, I saw that education was important because when you feel supported, you move different, right? When you have knowledge, you move different. You're able to move confidently into the things that you want to move into. And thank God we were blessed to be able to purchase again. Okay, I said that we was able to purchase again, but we had more knowledge of what it was, what home ownership entailed, and what to do and what not to do. So I wanted to take that over into my real estate company that look, we're going to educate. You know, we're not trying to be the biggest, we're not trying to be the loudest in the room, but we're going to serve and we're going to serve with excellence. And a lot of people may realize that when we introduce the company, we always say that it's a Christian owned real estate company, and it is. And that does not limit to who we serve, but it's how we serve, right? Those principles are based
Mm-hmm.
on how we serve, and whether that's through educating in our schools, whether it's educating in the community, in the workshops that we do, or the events that we connect with and that we partner with, that's always going to be the foundation of Branche and Associates, which goes back to our mission over commission, just spreading the information and being a support there to those that desire to move forward.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, because we have some technical difficulties,
For
I'm going to
some
ask you
reason,
to
I cannot hear you,
use
and
the
I don't know
chat.
why is that.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know.
let's. Okay, now I can hear you.
You can hear
It
me?
came
You
in
can hear?
just a little bit.
Okay. All right, you guys, thanks for your patience. So good morning to Jaja
Okay.
Cruz, the owner of Cruz Balloons. a balloon decor company in
It's
Warrenton.
cutting you out a little bit, and I
Congratulations.
don't know why.
Congratulations on your company. Good morning to Kareem Canson again, who says he still has Little Caesars in Oxford and helping with business strategy coaching. And so many people need that. So if you're a person that might need that, and you could check out Kareem, look him up online. Then we also have Kimberly Dawson, who is actually working with Sherenia at Branche and Associates. She is a broker. So the power of collaboration is amazing. It is amazing. Working together, building together, strengthening together. It looks like Kimberly Dawson and Sherenia are exercising what collaboration looks like and also what partnership looks like. So we're grateful for that. Sherena was mentioning that education is a huge component of her business, and why? By sharing her background and the things that she experienced as a homeowner and as she became a realtor. And so, why education was so important to her. And I truly appreciate that as a second time homeowner and a financial coach and person who has worked with several people in real estate. I have seen the differences where people are just looking to get a commission versus having a purpose, wanting to educate and wanting to really, for me, is empowering our community. Because when you understand and you know better, you can do better. You can think about generational wealth and long term sustainability, right? And that is necessary, especially for several demographic of people. I'm a woman, so I'm going to speak to that. But then also people of color and others who have not had the same opportunities to receive this education, and how a home is a long-term investment and how it can help to create generational wealth. I love that education is a huge component of what she does. Let's see if she's ready to come back. All right, Sherena, can you hear me and can you see me?
I can hear you, and
Oh,
I'm sure I can see you as well. I think I'm in the
okay.
chat, but I'm back. I don't know
Okay.
what's happening, but we come
It's
against that
okay.
technical stuff.
Uh-huh. Monday.
I
Sometimes
know
Mondays are like that. The systems need to reset, I guess. They need a little warming up.
they
So
need a
let's
break
go.
too.
Yes. We're not giving them a break though. We got stuff to talk about. Okay, so let's
Right.
go into your goals to not just help people buy homes, but become informed, prepared, and successful
Yes.
homeowners, because you have a project that you're working on to do this. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So, for the past few years, we have had the first Saturday home ownership series, right? So, the first Saturday of every month, we will host some type of event that's geared toward whether you want to be a homeowner or whether you are a homeowner, because we have a little mix of information in there, right? Because we not only
Mm-hmm.
want to just see you get into your home, we want you to maintain your home, right? And then once you get into your home, sometimes challenges arise, and we want to be able to help you keep that home. So we have that first Saturday series. We took a little break for a while because we do understand different months people are traveling, like July and different things like that. We had in-person events, we do online events as well. So we do have some things that we are currently partnership with and discussing that we can't release as of yet, but
Okay.
everything that we do is centered around community, right? Because we feel that community is important and we want to make sure that we're being a support to our community. And we do understand and realize that everything may not come to a financial benefit. So that's why it's mission over commission. I think I was sharing earlier, and I don't know if it went down when I was saying this, but I was just talking about how my motive in real estate, started as that time freedom and time with my family. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to share that, of course, I built success in the business. I built a great business, a lot of meaningful relationships throughout the business, recognitions, all of that came about, but that was not fulfillment for me. And I do believe that God had to change my perspective, right? To walk into my purpose so that I can be fulfilled. So I believe that real estate is one of the vehicles that He has given to me
Mhm.
to minister to the needs of people. It has came down to that, and it's really important. So I take this as an assignment. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not trying to be the biggest or the baddest or the loudest, but I'm going to have impact wherever I go. And if that's in my community, then that's where it's going to be, in my community and beyond. And
Yeah.
so education for me is just really, really important, just to do our part. Not to say that people are not capable of learning and research and everything, but I want to make sure that you have the right information. I want to make sure that you have a trusted source that you can connect into and feel comfortable of them guiding you through such a process as this. So that's why
Yeah.
education is so much at the heart of what we do. It's not just what we say, but it's what we do.
So for somebody who is a realtor and looking to become a part of an agency, they don't want to work alone, but they want to work
Mhm.
with you like Kimberly does. What is that process like? Like, how did you determine, first of all, that did you work with another company first and then decide to start your own, or what's the journey, and maybe help someone else out who might be in your shoes?
Yes, so I did. I started with a company, and I worked with that company for about 5 years. And honestly, I became comfortable with
Hmm.
that company because, like I said, the success, the transactions, the recognition, I had it all. And I said, well, this is just where I'm going to stay. But God laid it on my heart that there's more, right? And I didn't quite understand what He was saying, as far as there's more. But He allowed me to see through Branch and Associates that, look, you have to be more, than just, I guess, average, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not trying to say anything is wrong with the company. I love the company. I love the people that I have worked with. But God wanted me to do something different. He wanted me to pivot into something different and to create that environment that I knew that I wanted to set for Branch and Associates, mission over commission, right?
Hmm.
So when I started the firm, it was just me. It was just me. And I was like, okay, I'm good with this. I'm just going to let it be me, and Branch and Associates just be me. But God was like, okay, Branch and Associates, there's going to be others. And I said, God, how do I go about that? I never advertise for agents or anything like that. I just believe in my heart that, God, whoever you allow to see the vision, whoever has the heart to be a part of Branch and Associates, then they're going to be a part of Branch and Associates. So I never saw the need to advertise for the company to build. And growth is important. So let's be clear, growth is important, but that's not where my heart was and what I felt like God was giving me to build, right? So within a year, had an agent to come, hey, are you looking for agents? I wasn't really, but if you see the vision, once I share it with you and you're ready to connect, then we'll be so. Now, we currently have 7 ladies that's on our team, and I thank God for that. And they're all here for different reasons. A lot of people say, well, you have 7, but you're not doing thousands of transactions, a year. But you have to learn, I have learned to see the bigger picture in things. God has taught me to see the bigger picture. And I'll give you an example of that in a little bit. But when people connect, they connect for whatever reason. Maybe they just need to cross my path because they need to build. God has taught me through this business, it's not just about building transactions, but it's about building people, right? And whatever piece that He allows me to plug into their life, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Whether it's
Hmm.
an agent that comes up under me and they're going through a rough season in their life, God allows me to be that instrument in their life to help build them, praying that if they come and they do leave Branch and Associates, that they leave better than when they came.
Yeah.
And the same thing for our clients. When they come and they cross our path, they may work with us, they may not work with us. But I do believe that God gives me that opportunity for a season to impart into their life. And I talk about this all the time. Those that may have known me, I may have shared this before. And one of the ways that God showed me, you have to look at this bigger than a transaction. So
Hmm.
I had a buyer and we were looking at homes. I mean, months and months, we just looking at homes and everything. And we went to this one particular home and it was the one, right? We were so happy, so relieved. And we went through, get ready to write up the offer. And then the agent texts me, the seller is going to remove the home from the market. I was like, what?
Mhm.
After we find the one, after months of searching, and they're going to take it off the market. So it
Mhm.
immediately, my mind, my flesh was like a little upset. Why are they going to do all that? We really want to buy this. But later on, the agent shared with me that the homeowner found out they were in remission and their cancer had came back, and they felt like that was a lot on them right now to be selling the home, dealing with their cancer coming back. And immediately God told me, I told you, you have to look at this bigger than real estate. And immediately my heart begins to pray for this individual. I don't know who this individual was, never seen them before. Of course, I had the
Mhm.
opportunity to walk through their home, but God said, if you did not have the opportunity to walk through that home, right? Because, I just believe that, the presence of God not don't be with us always, but I believe that his spirit takes us routes that we may not even understand. And he
Mhm.
said, if you had not been in contact in that property or with that agent, you would not have known to pray for this individual and what it is that they are going through right now, mentally,
Mhm.
spiritually. You have to see it. But yes, your client lost the home that they wanted because they took it off the market, but you were in a position to pray.
Yeah.
And I just had to say, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Think about what this person is going through right now, what they're about
Yeah.
to face. Their whole world just crumbled in a matter of minutes. But I have people in places just to pray and to help them get through, just like somebody did for us. We know
Yeah.
our family and friends, they may pray for us and things, but sometimes you encounter strangers that may whisper a word of prayer for you and they don't even know you like that. And God has blessed me to see that. And I expressed that to my agents that, yeah, this may not go the way that you had planned, but ask God, what is the bigger picture here, God? What is it that I'm
Yeah.
not seeing? What is it that you want me to learn and to understand from what has just happened? And that's different.
Yeah.
That's different, because a lot of times you want to see the sale, you want to see this, and you want to see that. But I believe that we're here for a bigger purpose than that.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah,
important to know. I mean, bigger.
yeah,
There was a bigger purpose for you to walk into that space. And I think
yes.
for those who are faith-based,
Hmm.
even sometimes rationalizing things
Yeah.
can interfere with the God in things, right? But then
Hmm.
those also, it's sort of like, well, you know what I needed. I needed this money, Lord. Like, why you take it away? But to know, like,
Right.
because that's real. That's real. Like, it's
Yeah.
like there
Yeah.
might be a contract, and that's not what he has in line for you, and he take that thing away. And you're like, but Lord, I needed this. But back to what you were saying, understanding your purpose and
Yeah.
yielding to what's bigger and understanding that God is in control of all things.
Yes.
It really makes it, it changes the game, right? And so let's talk about faith for just a second,
Okay.
because you talked about God throughout this entire conversation, and I know that that's not something that every entrepreneur does, and many people, the word that people use is marketplace, like
Mm.
bringing God into the marketplace. And so, is that
Yeah.
something that is it's just now easy for you? Was it always easy? If it is, because you're just running it off your shoulder now. And
Well,
so, is that something that you were ever challenged with as well when you work for others and now highlight because you have your own business? You can do more so of what you wish. So, can you talk a little bit about faith in your journey?
faith has everything to do with my journey. And yes, previous companies before, you feel restricted, in some way. You know what you
Mm-hmm.
believe, and they say you're independent, but you still feel like, okay, God should be a little bit quieter in this environment, and I'm like, okay, no, I need to actually operate in what I believe. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yes, Branch, that was part of the reason for Branch and Associates as well, that, hey, this atmosphere, this is a free atmosphere here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just that individuals of my faith have to work in this environment. It's whatever faith we have, different faiths in our team, but nevertheless they don't feel like, hey, it's restricted here. This is
Mm-hmm.
something that, hey, we walk in, we live in each and every day. And so faith is really important to me because I saw a post on Facebook where somebody says, if you want to increase your faith, become an entrepreneur, right?
Was that
And truly,
me?
entrepreneurship is a faith-based
That
walk. Let me
yes.
tell you, it's humbling. You have to trust God throughout the process because as an entrepreneur, you don't always see the big picture, right? You're not going to see it. We always try, what's the saying? Make it make sense. You
Mm-hmm.
can't make it make sense with God. You just can't. His ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. So we have to trust him. And I want to be free in my serving him because I need my life to be in alignment, right? I need my
Mm-hmm.
life to be in alignment with my faith. I need my business to be in alignment with my faith because then I feel like, okay, I'm walking this thing out the way that God is pleased. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be quiet about it in my business because that's just who I am. And
Mm-hmm.
I put my faith on display to, hey, this is me. This is me, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, I'm a human. I love to joke and have fun and things like that. That's me. But at the same time, I don't have to shrink God down to make somebody else feel comfortable, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to do that, because I feel like I'm being true to myself. You hear people say, you know, be you, do you, have your truth or whatever. This is my
Mm-hmm.
truth. My
Yeah.
faith is my truth. I believe that God has placed each and every one of us a purpose and assignment here in this earth, and this is mine. And this is the
Mm-hmm.
way that He has allowed me to walk it out. So I really, if He allowed that, why should I be quiet about what it is that He's doing for me and doing in my life?
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like that needs to be muted.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you have to be bold in such a thing. If you're going to live that out, you have to be bold in such a thing. And so
Yeah,
that is actually our requirement, if you are a believer. Now, for those who are not, I think it's also important to understand that everybody is not our clients,
right.
right? And that there's an opportunity to potentially witness to those who are sent to us as clients,
Yeah,
but we're supposed to pour into them something a little bit more and a
yeah,
little bit different. So I love that that's your foundation.
it
I love
is.
that you know how to maneuver through that and that you are bold about it. And so this morning, you all, we have Sherenia Branche of Branche and Associates. You can connect with her at brancheandassociates.com and then on Instagram at Branche and Associates. That is scrolling across the screen at the bottom. So make sure that you go ahead and write that down or take note of it. Follow her at TikTok. On TikTok at I am Sherenia Nicole or Sherena Nicole.
Mhm.
Good morning to those who are just joining. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Yvette Jones. Yvette says, "Go Sherenia, go
Good
Sherena."
morning, Yvette. Thank you.
Yes. So we've been talking about education and real estate, you all. We've been talking about entrepreneurship. We've been talking about faith. I would like to close out with talking about family, Sharena. How important is it, especially as we talk about generational wealth? We're
Yes.
talking about generational wealth from the employer side or the person who owns a business, so business owner side, generational wealth for your clients as well, but generational wealth as it relates to faith and pouring back into the community and your family by lifting up God, because that is generational wealth. It's not just the
Yeah.
money, it's
Yeah.
also right. And so let's talk
Yes.
about your family. How is your family a part of the business? How is your family uh, highlighted in your mind as you do all the things that you do? And if you could touch on faith and then also work, finance.
Okay. Okay. I think I got all that. So
Yeah.
as
It's
far as
basically family.
family, family, my family is a big part of my business. Of course, they see, my children see what entrepreneurship looks like. They too aspire, in their hearts to be an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Of course, they feel they gonna make that a part of their life. I already told them. But anyway, but they are a big part of it. Whether it's going with me, my youngest is 7 years old. People know her as Mo, Miss Mo.
Mhm.
She's 7. Of course, when I started in real estate, she was in my belly, right?
Mhm.
Well, actually, I started beforehand, but I became pregnant with her. And of course, she went with me to a lot of my showings and different things. So she became a part of it. And when she was born, of course, I took her with me, in the field and things like that. So a lot of people have became to know her, and she has become to, I guess, do her own little work too on her computer and calling clients and things like that. But it just become a part of their life. My oldest, whether I need them to do a video or put up a sign or whatever it may be to help me with packets, they do that. And I have to shout out my husband. He's my rock. He is that voice of reason, for me, or when he see that I'm stressed or whatever the case may be, he's that calm, to my storm. So, I just really appreciate him and want to shout him out.
Mm,
Mr. Branch, he may not be up here, but he doesn't do Facebook a lot and things like that, but I'm gonna show it to him later. But nevertheless, they are a big part of why I do what I do. Now, I will say this: in the beginning, I was constantly going and doing and doing for real estate, that my family at one point in time is like, okay, hold on a minute. Let me get up from the dinner table. Let me take this call. Let me do this and let me do that. And calls 9, 10 o'clock at night. And my kids are like, Mom, what are you doing? It was cutting
mhm.
into family. So God had to show me, hold on. Okay, family is your first ministry, right?
Yeah,
This is what I have given to you, and you're lacking over here to fulfill over there. That's upside down. So
right.
what I had to learn
Boundaries.
how to do was to pull it back, to scale it
Mhm,
back. And I'm still there to service my clients and do the things that I need to do. But God had to teach me, you better minister over here. You can't be at
mhm,
every show. You can't be at every event and things like that. And your home is lacking. So I
mhm.
pulled back and began to be there with my family. Dinner time, okay, that call can wait. It can go to voicemail, right? I can contact them a little bit later.
Mhm.
Protect my family time. That's exactly what I had to do, because I don't want them to be like, hey, I'm gonna neglect my family to work this business. I don't want that, right? Because legacy is not, like you said, it's not just money.
Yeah,
But it's also, what am I teaching my kids? What am I showing them? I'm showing them that being present, that matters, that their time matters, especially in this day and time. Lord have mercy with our youth, and I just pray for the youth,
absolutely.
and our young adults, that the enemy won't have them, but I have to show them, I have to demonstrate this walk out to them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm,
So I had to learn how to balance that and put things in perspective and protect our family time and things of that nature. And then, of course, according to our faith, it is God. He provides us just what it is that we need. And
mhm.
I'm thankful for that, and for my husband for seeing the vision. He said, "Hey, if this is what God has told you to do, I'm gonna back you for that." So I'm grateful for him, being that backing for me, because so many may not do that. And I give God glory for that. But of course, it has been a faith walk together for us in this thing. And I'm not saying every day is peaches and cream in business, because
Mhm,
I would be lying to you,
mhm.
but God helps us to see that I got this thing in control. I'm going to
Yeah.
do just what I said I'm going to do. Are you going to trust me, or are you going to try to make this happen on your own? And I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of times in business, we try so hard to make things happen on our own, because we got to get the right connections. We got to get in the right rooms. We got to do this. And I'm not saying that those things are not important, but are you made connected to the right connection? Are you
Yeah.
connected to God? Are you allowing him to order your steps? Are you allowing him to put you in the places that you need to be in? And if you will allow him to do that, hey, it's long term. You
Yeah.
know, it's long term. So I hope I
Yeah.
answered your question.
You did. Yeah, yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, and
Yes.
the thing that stands out the most that I think is a nugget for those who are juggling a bunch of things, whether it's entrepreneurship or ministry or volunteerism or whatever it is, even a heavy workload on a nine to
Yeah,
five, you have to have boundaries. You have
you
to have
do.
strategy. You have to prioritize your family or realize what are the priorities that are most important,
Yeah.
and make sure to have boundaries to structure your life around those things. And I do feel like, a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people who are hustling to make
Yeah.
the dollar and to create legacy, it's all often great intention, that we
Yeah.
have to make sure that we prioritize what's most important.
That's
And
true.
your children did not ask to be here, right? And so
That's
we have
right.
a responsibility to our children. So that's what I got from that as the nugget to share with those who are listening and watching. And so, you all, today we have had Sherenia Branche, broker owner of Branche and Associates. I'm Kimberly Winborne, CEO of Kimberly Winborne LLC, doing business as Coffee and Collaborations Media, which houses the Collaboration Culture podcast. As we wrap up, please pay attention to what is scrolling across the screen so you can make sure to stay in contact with Sherenia. If you're looking to purchase a home and you want more information, you definitely want to make sure to follow her because she has some home buyer seminars coming up, and she could also lead and guide you with education as the primary tool to purchase your home and to get prepared for it. Sometimes we're not prepared right away, and so that education helps us to get prepared so that we can tackle those goals, which are
And
great for our
may I
generational
add
wealth.
something?
So let
May
me
I
let
add
me
something,
hold on one
Kimberly?
second. Hold on
Okay.
one second. That are great for our generational wealth. And so what I want to do as we close out is give Sherenia the floor to say one last thing. And then if you would like to be on the podcast, then reach out to us right now. What's scrolling across the screen is how to become a sponsor of one of our shows or how to be on our show. So pay attention to that, and I'll give you the floor to close us out, Sherenia.
Okay. What I wanted to add to that, I know you mentioned home buying, but you do
Mm-hmm.
have some people that are looking to sell, or maybe they just
Yeah.
want to get their foundation as far as finances stronger. They can reach out to us. We have partners that we work with that can help them get into those positions because, they may be in a home, but they just want to get things stronger in their life. We most definitely can put you with some of our partners to help you with that as well. Um, Also, I want to say we do have an event that's going to be coming up. This is for our teams and it's making money moves. We're in partnership with the North Carolina State Employees Credit Union, and that event is going to be August the 7th. And we are looking for teams and we're looking for volunteers to assist with that event. That's one of our, of course, mission over commission, something that we're doing for our youth. So we encourage you to come on out, reach out to me, see how you can be a support or a blessing. My number is 252-430-4045. Whatever way you want to serve, we're willing to serve alongside of you. So we just want to be a blessing to our community, and not just here in our area, but even surrounding areas as well are welcome to attend. But I want to encourage someone on today that you don't have to do things like others do things. You do things the way that God has called for you to do things. Don't be afraid. Some people say, well, I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to do this or that. It's just having a conversation with Him, not only just speaking, but also willing to listen to His direction. You don't have to worry about if your market is saturated. What God has for you, it is for you. You just continue to do the work. You continue to let your light shine before men, and He would draw. And I truly believe that with all my heart that He draws who need to be drawn to me. And you have to walk confidently in that because, as Kimberly said earlier, every transaction and every client is not your client. So I thank God for
Mm-hmm.
Him just bringing to me and to my team who is designed for us to impact in this season. Be agents of impact for the kingdom of God, and He will truly bless your hands. We are to stewardship what He has given unto us, whatever that may be. It may not be real estate, it could be in human services, it could be in health services, but whatever He gives your hands to steward, stay connected to Him and allow Him to lead and to guide you into your purpose.
Absolutely. Great words from Sherenia Branche, our special guest. I love it. So you all, we will see you back here on in 2 weeks for our next guest, Lori Jones with the Collaboration Culture podcast. You all have an amazing rest of your day. See you next time. Bye-bye.